Now let's take a look at the 3-month caseload progress chart. This file is set up where your dashboard is on the left side and your data entry caseload information is on the right side. Columns A through Z are your required fields. I've added some additional columns to the right so that additional information can be captured if you wanted to consolidate your information into one place. There's some examples that are set here. You can always relabel these. In this additional space, you have options. If you right-click on the header, you can either insert more rows to the right to capture even more information. You could potentially delete these columns without affecting the table, or you could group the columns if you're not sure whether or not you want to use the information just yet. And right now they're grouped, so if you click on that minus symbol, it will collapse the information so you can see more on your screen. To start using the spreadsheet, you would click into the cell here and enter your academic school year. So basically your first day of work. It could be any day of the week, so let's say it's a Wednesday. When you select your first day of work, the calendar is going to reset and it's going to give you up to 12 months based on your start date. So as of the date of this recording, it's September. So September is the current month that's going to be highlighted. And any day that you open the file, it's going to highlight the current month. So next month it'll be highlighted in October, the following month it'll be highlighted in November, and so on. Then you would copy your entire caseload into this one table. If you have a student with 5 goals, you would enter that student on 5 rows. If a student has 1 goal, you would enter their goal on 1 row. After your caseload is entered into the table, you can put an average data outcome for each of the goals that that student has worked on under each column. Here's an example of a student that had an IEP meeting on October 15th. Then on October 16th, the new goal, in this case there's 1 goal, took effect. I've collected 3 months of data, and so here in this example, the IEP took place on October 15th, and then as of October 16th, I started collecting new information on the new goal, and so the information is in the same column, but that's okay because I've differentiated the name here. And now let's take a look at how this would look on the chart. Here is your reporting dashboard, and you can change this information. These cells here are using VLOOKUPs to bring in the IEP goal that you've entered here. So if you have a full copy of your IEP, it's going to copy and paste it in here. So what you'll need to do is select your student as well as the months that you would like to see data outcomes for. So this student has 1 goal, and it works similar to the weekly report where any blank information should be hidden so that the chart, you may need to adjust your columns so that your printout looks okay. I'm going to center all this information, and you see that the goal was brought in and the data points were brought in. And it's giving me the months that I requested, which is August, September, and October. Now I can select a different student by unhiding these columns and choosing a new student. So let's select a student that had 5 goals here. This information will be calculated and updated automatically. And I didn't change my month selection, so the information is brought in for August, September, and October. One key aspect of having everything in one sheet is you will have to just adjust the sizing of your columns based on what you're reporting on. And so here is my report. I can see August, September, and October side by side per goal. If I select this student who has a new IEP, the month of August and September will be blank, and I'll have data results for October. So it's not going to look correct, in which case I need to make my adjustment here and select October, November, December. And then wait for the chart to update. The goal is brought in, and these are blank. So before I hide that, I'm going to stretch this out so that my chart will fit in the resulting table. If you want to, you can go into Edit Chart and change the dimensions and change the layout. The main purpose is to have your entire caseload in this one place. If you click on this, it will highlight that section above letting you know that this is the section to be printed. And because I highlighted the area I want to print, I'm going to choose selected cells and print out my report. If you have the full IEP goal on your table, this information may be expanded. Right now it's showing up on one row. So you may have a 2-page report, but in that case, just adjust your column so that everything appears on your report and then just print that out. And that's it. There are basic instructions here letting you know what you need to do step by step. It's going to hyperlink you over to certain areas if it's applicable. And here it's letting you know that you first enter your start date and then you enter your caseload, take your data. Anytime you select a student in this dropdown, it's going to highlight that student on the table. And that may be useful if you have a lot of students on your table and you're entering data. It will highlight where you need to be. When you delete the student name here, the highlighting on the table will be removed and your chart will be cleared. As mentioned, when you're creating a new IEP, you can inactivate the old goals by changing the student name to expired, as in the example here, as much or as little information as you want to associate to the name. And then you would go to the bottom of your table and add that student and the new goal, take your data, and then run your reports as you need them. And so here is just a refresher on creating a report. You would select the student name from this dropdown. And then here, if you click on this, it's prompting you to then select the 3-month period that you want to report on. Just remember that any student that does not have 5 goals, just hide the columns that are not applicable, adjust your column sizes, and then format your printout to look the way you want. And that's basically it for this one. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.